The following is a paid advertisement. The views expressed are the sole responsibility of the advertiser.
I'm attorney Justin Carr. Coming up just ahead on You Have Real Estate, LPT is in the house. Also, bang for your buck. What can you buy in Ocala versus what you can buy in Orlando? And investing in commercial real estate, good idea? It's just ahead. It's You Have Real Estate. Your debt does not have to control your life. You have the power to potentially lower or even eliminate your debt. I'm attorney Justin Carr. Call me now for a free consultation or visit youhavepower.com and take back control of your financial life. Welcome to You Have Real Estate with me, attorney Justin Clark. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, seasoned investor, or even looking to sell your home, this next 30 minutes is designed just for you. Think of it like hitting multiple open houses, all from your living room, with my attorney advice throughout the way. Any questions whatsoever during the program, we have people standing by to answer your questions. The phone number will be right here the entire show, 407-205-0400. Wonderful show in store for you today, but first, the opening statement. People ask us all the time about real estate and where to buy. Where can they get a really good bang for your buck? Today we're going to talk about the differences in prices when you look at Ocala and Marion County versus here in Orlando. How big of a difference really is there when you start to go a little bit further out? We've talked about how we've built new infrastructure around Orlando and around greater Orlando, and how it's making some further out areas a little bit more accessible for you now, where maybe you can buy a house a little further out that you thought was too far out before. Now, maybe it's not too far out now at all. Also, we'll talk about hurricane season coming up. You all think about getting the bottles of water, the paper towels, the generator, but you don't think about your windows, and windows are very important as hurricane season approaches. All great questions, and questions we will answer by asking real questions. Every Saturday here on the program, we ask real questions to the truly trend-setting people in Central Florida's real estate community. Very pleased to kick it off today with return visitors I haven't seen in a while. The first brothers in real estate, Matt and Roger Hodge. What's up, guys? How are you?
I'm doing well, man. Good. How are you?
Matt, long time no see.
Yeah.
How you been?
I've been well, man. Busy.
You helped create this phenomenon now known as LPT Realty that's kind of taken not just Florida, but the United States real estate market by storm. What's going on at LPT?
Oh, man, we're just enjoying the growth. The solutions we're providing for the real estate industry are really pushing it forward, and people are really adopting it, and we're enjoying that adoption rate.
A lot of real estate agents out there are seeing LPT signs pop up, and really the technology that you're using, and they're even asking me, like, what's up with this LPT thing? I mean, certainly you've made an impact now. I mean, how is it different for agents over at LPT?
I mean, at the core of LPT, it's really just about agent choice and agent-focused branding. And so a lot of the tools that we design are really to help the agent grow their business. And competing models, it's not always about that. It's really kind of a push and a pull, where we really take on the responsibility of supporting the agent's business, and really the consumer wins on the other side of that.
And I'm not trying to discredit you, Matt, in any way, but the last time your brother was on the program, people were calling up saying, that's the smartest dude you've ever had on the show. And it's true. I literally had people say, that dude is smart.
Thank you.
Roger, your knowledge of real estate is pretty incredible. How did you become so ingrained in this real estate world?
So, kind of from its inceptions, our father actually is in real estate.
Really? I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, so
okay.
He's bought, and we can't even really say flip, but he buys and holds, and that's the game he's always played. But anyways, from him, we kind of branched out. He went into full real estate on the sales side, and I started with architecture. Right. Then I earned my master's in real estate development, and then we collaborated together and said, hey, let's take all of our collective knowledge and go help families.
Yeah, and we've all sort of been together through the collapse in 2008 and then this craziness over the last couple of years. What are you seeing for the people at home right now who have some hesitation about jumping into the real estate market right now? Whether their objection is, well, the interest rates are too high, or I'm afraid we're going to have a crash. What is your advice to them?
I would advise, if it's your primary resident and you have a need, right? So during the pandemic, everyone was able to pretty much jump into their dream home, whether you needed to move or you didn't. Now we got to take a little step back. Is there a need? You know, sometimes it's as fortunate as a blessing as a baby, or unfortunate like a death, a divorce, or something like that. And so that need is going to be there always. But when we're looking at real estate, the biggest thing we have to understand is supply and demand. Where are we as far as inventory and how many people want it? And today we are at historic lows for inventory. And so the reality is, while people are thinking that a crash is coming, it's less likely because of how limited the homes are available in our market specifically. And we are seeing it throughout nations, but especially here in Orlando, because we are still the #1 state to move to.
Yeah, how would you describe this market? Oftentimes the market's described as a seller's market or a buyer's market. Matt, what do you think?
I mean, it's kind of churning. You're at a place where it's definitely negotiations are returning, and that generally is leaning towards the buyer side. Whereas over the last few years, you were competing against other buyers, and you were, giving up a tremendous amount of leverage to get into a home. Now it's not necessarily like that. You have negotiations kind of returning back between the seller and the buyer directly, and so I wouldn't say it's necessarily a buyer's market yet, but we are definitely more there than we were, over the last couple of months.
I have a lot of buyers that will come to me and say, Justin, there's no way I'm buying right now because I could have bought a year ago or 2 years ago at a 3% interest rate. Now it's 6%, and I'm like, dude, you couldn't have bought 2 years ago. It was so difficult being a buyer a couple years ago, where I think it's so much better. I know the rate's higher now. I get that. It's not going to be a huge impact, and you can always look to refinance as the rates hopefully come down. I think, and people yell at me for this, I think it's better to be a buyer now than it was 2 years ago when the rates were lower, because now you can at least negotiate something. I think it's better to be a buyer now than it was a year ago. Speaking of buyers, you brought a couple of awesome properties here that I want to take a look at. This first one in Sanford, I know this neighborhood well. It's really Lake Mary / Sanford, you almost have to say. Tell me about Caledonia Place.
Yeah, so Caledonia, it's a gorgeous home. So for the family, they are downsizing, but they love this property. It's just about half an acre. It is it's on 188 acres worth of lake, so Lake Sullivan. Right. So it has boat access. That's where I almost said gate access, but it's a boat access community. While they don't have boat storage, you can absolutely, whatever type of vehicle that you wanted to put on the water, you can absolutely do that here. So it's a 5-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,700 square feet, and I mean, open concept. Beautiful kitchen. So if you have a lot of chefs out there, this is definitely the kitchen for you. Or if you have a larger family, this is absolutely the home.
And 709 in that Markham Woods corridor, Lake Mary / Sanford area is a pretty darn good price for right now as well. And a beautiful, safe neighborhood, great schools there. Now head a little bit east here to Daytona Beach, Riverside Drive. That looks pretty nice, Matt.
It's that property is located in Marina Grande. It's a resort-style community. Really fantastic if you're looking for an Airbnb-style property, which we know has really kind of exploded on the scenes over the last couple of years. Great ROI, tons of booking time for there. But the community has natural pools. It has saltwater pool, heated. It's directly off of the inlet. It has gym. It has theater. It's a library. I mean, it's just an entire, you never need to leave if you're there. And that particular unit is so clean, fantastic views of the ocean, and really just a fantastic place to live. So if you're,
And with this Airbnb thing, when someone says, well, maybe it's a great time to buy a primary home right now, but maybe not an investment property or a second home, if you're going to make money off of it, is there ever a bad time to buy a second home or an investment property? And this with Airbnb, I mean, that person's probably going to make money, whoever buys that, at a great price, $385. It's pretty incredible.
That's a steal.
Yeah, awesome, guys. Great to see you. Please, let's do this again soon. How was that? And if you have questions about these properties or questions about LPT, the phone number is on the screen. I will connect you with Matt, Roger immediately. 407-205-0400. Quick break. You Have Real Estate continues. Hurricane season definitely upon us, and we all think, oh, we'll go to the grocery store and get some water bottles and some paper towels, but there's something important in your house right now that is very important when it comes to hurricane season, and that is your windows. Dan Brigman is here, Renewal by Andersen. Dan, you think about sitting around during a hurricane party or when you're getting through a hurricane with your family, playing a game or whatever you're doing, and when those winds really start to pick up, and you start hearing those windows vibrating, that gets scary. Why don't we think about windows when we think about hurricane prep?
You're absolutely right, Justin. It does get a little nerve-wracking. And one of the reasons we don't is because when we think about windows, we think about energy savings. We think about, hey, does the thing go up and down, or the bugs coming in, or is there any water around my windows, and things like that. We don't think about that. An 80, 90 mile an hour wind is enough wind to send something through that window. If you're sitting in there playing Monopoly, send it through the window, hit you, and end the story.
It's not a good thing at all. I put the QR code on the screen right now. Dan has a very special gift for you in preparation for hurricane season to help protect your family by changing and upgrading your windows. Dan, for these people at home, what are you going to do?
Well, I can tell you this, it will not happen again before hurricane season, which we're already in, right? And so it's 20% off of anything and everything that we sell. So that's our windows and our doors. And so get it while you can.
I appreciate it very much. Dan, great to see you. You will appreciate Renewal by Andersen, I assure you that. This is free, by the way. Hit the QR code on the screen or call the phone number right now. Totally free consultation with their design consultant. Call Renewal by Andersen today. Welcome back to the show. Obviously, real estate is a great investment tool in many ways. Yeah, did we lose in 2008? Sure we did, but over time, real estate is a really good investment generally. But what do you invest in? Do you invest overseas? Do you invest here? Do you invest in commercial? Do you invest in residential? Great questions that you have. We're going to try to answer them right now. Two returning visitors. Jason Seda's here. Jason, how are you? LPT.
Very well.
What's up, man? How you been?
I've been good. Good to see you again.
And Chris Atwell joins me, a real estate agent, also with Aura. Chris, welcome back.
Thank you so much.
All right, Jason, let me start with you because we have two properties here, right? One residential, one commercial, and I really love...
Actually, both commercial.
They're both commercial.
I flipped it on you today.
Oh, wow, okay.
I decided to change it and bring a little commercial into the residential world.
I like
to do that every now and then.
I like that you know about both. Then, when someone is investing in commercial, do you find that these people are the end user, that they're going to move their office there, or are these people really just investing? What's normal?
50-50, to be honest with you. I've been seeing a lot of investors, for instance, the doctor's office I have for sale. I'm getting a lot of investors that are looking to purchase it and lease it out to an existing doctor or a new doctor. Vice versa, I just showed it to a chiropractic group, which they're looking to facilitate for themselves. So it's 50-50, to be honest with you.
I gotcha. And you brought two investment properties here right now, or commercial properties, I should say. Start me at East Michigan Street in Orlando. What is this? 1125
East Michigan Street. That is a soon-to-be decommissioned gas station, but it sits about an acre and a half of property. So that property can be zoned. It can be an auto parts store. It can be a car wash. It can be an actual used car lot if you can do it. It's currently leased out to a tint company, but we're looking to switch that land. The land's worth the value.
Yeah.
The majority of that price is the value of the land.
Who buys that, you think, if you had to guess?
Honestly, I've been getting a lot of flow of car wash owners that are looking to purchase.
I've always wanted to own a
location.
car wash. It seems like just cha-ching, cha-ching.
They are popping up everywhere here.
I want a car wash and a storage facility right next to each other. That's what I want to do.
That's two great businesses to invest in, right?
And then the one that I accused of being residential that I clearly can see now is an office space. That's beautiful up in Sanford.
Yes, calling all doctors. This is, if you're a doctor and X-ray machine benefits to your practice, or this would be the location. It's about 2,100 square feet, first floor. It shares the same parking lot as the only trauma center in Seminole County.
Oh wow!
So it's a great location.
Perfect for any
turnkey.
Sort of medical.
Yeah.
Medical doctor or whatever.
It's a steal. Real estate with X-ray machine, all furniture included for $495. I mean, you can't beat that.
That's really unbelievable. For someone who's thinking about buying commercial, but they don't want to pay cash, everyone kind of knows interest rates in residential, but I think when they're getting a loan or a mortgage in commercial, they don't understand how that process really works. What are the differences?
So it is a little different. You do pay a higher interest rate than you would in residential, but what I am seeing a lot now is, and I'll use the doctor's office for example, the loan's assumable. And the interest rates in the 4s.
Really?
Yes. So that's been very entertaining for buyers right now for me. And that goes for any commercial property. That'd be the first question I ask. Is there a loan on it, and can I assume it? Because if you're looking to leverage, that's the way to go. Obviously, get a loan and refinance later, right? But the assumable mortgages right now is the way to drive. And that's the same thing for residential. FHA, VA loans that are assumable, or more VA loans, excuse me, but same game on the commercial side.
Unbelievable. If you'd like to see these properties, I will connect you with Jason right now. 407-205-0430. Other ways to invest, obviously, and I couldn't help myself but invite Chris here today because of the news with Live Golf and the PGA Tour, that bombshell that came out here recently. The Middle East, all right? The sort of love-hate relationship in some ways, I guess. I don't know. I'm not here to judge or even determine what our relationship is like, but you've had a lot of experience with investing over there and then investing here.
Yeah, and Justin, it's one of those things where it is moving so rapidly, it's almost inconceivable unless you, like me, have seen it with your own eyes.
Yeah.
From Dubai, which is the most well-known part, I would say, of the Middle East, especially to Americans, all the way over to the opposite end of that kind of peninsula in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, kind of the HQ, if you will, for the Live Golf.
Right.
The development and the investment opportunity in a two-way fashion, both inbound and outbound, is incredible. It's absolutely incredible, and it's across business sectors, from medical to industrial to obviously real estate. Just anecdotally, a really neat thing that I found recently, Knight Frank put out a really great report on Dubai. Over 210 properties sold last year, over $10 million US valuation. Really incredible. So it's really, not unlike Orlando, a melting pot of cultures and of diverse types of industries as well.
I've always wanted to be a prince. It seems so easy.
They said 80% of the population there is not even from there.
Is that right?
Yeah. Safest city in the world, apparently. You can literally leave your key on the hood of your car and go eat and come back, and it's still
really?
Absolutely. Try that in the middle of Broadway.
That Prince Harry, I tell you, Prince Harry made a big mistake, I feel.
If
I'm born a prince, I'm always going to be a prince, I assure you. No question.
Well, and even Kevin O'Leary is now an Emirati citizen.
Really?
They made him a citizen, yeah. But Jason's absolutely correct. The safety of particularly Dubai and the UAE is absolutely incredible. Personally, I feel more comfortable taking my wife. We went there for our baby moon, and I mixed it with business.
Yeah.
We went there for our baby moon a couple of years ago, and I felt more comfortable with her walking around the streets of Dubai than any major city in America at this point.
Is that right?
And it's really a great opportunity. And if you think about it, the relationship between Orlando and Dubai has been going for quite some time, the better part of a decade.
Yeah.
15 years, 2015, since 2015, there's been a direct flight several times a week from Orlando to Dubai. And why is that?
What similarities do you see? When you wouldn't think similarity when you think Orlando and Dubai, what similarities do you see between those two cities?
Population, ambition of the people, just a general overall eagerness to get things done and accomplished. Real estate development is obviously huge. And also this hub, this kind of idea of being a hub for tourism, for commerce, for all these different things. Dubai is the second, or the top, actually, the busiest airport in the world for international travel. We see, 85 million visitors a year come through Orlando. So there's not only a residential relationship of residents there that's the same, but there's also a huge tourist correlation as well.
Got it. So you were bullish on this UAE market?
100%.
Dubai. Okay.
And if you're a real estate professional, if you're any type of business person at all, there's only upside to developing relationships over there. As we were saying before the segment started, everything is about relationships. And I encourage anybody that has any ambition to look at the UAE, certainly, and Saudi as well.
Yeah, not something I've thought about. Very interesting, especially with all the golf news here over the last couple of weeks. Excellent job. Great to see you. Invited back anytime. Jason, what do you see on the horizon in the residential real estate market? I asked Matt and Roger before. What do you see?
I mean, we live in Florida. Everybody's moving here. Let's just be real, you know? And I feel this is towards the end of the Feds keeping that high interest rate. So, I mean, as soon as those interest rates drop, you're going to see another huge flow of buyers come through Florida. So if you're waiting, don't wait. Because the time the interest rates drop, I personally feel that it's going to turn into another seller's market.
Yeah.
Big time. When they come off the sidelines, forget about it.
Yeah.
It's like,
cool. Yeah, there's 6 million people waiting. I think still waiting to move here.
Not going to be a crash here, ladies and gentlemen, I assure you. Jason, Seda, always a pleasure to see you. Chris,
Likewise.
Thanks for coming in, buddy. See you guys very soon. Here's what we'll do. Very quick break. Oftentimes we get focused on Orlando and really just this area right around Orlando. some of us are thinking about moving to other parts of the state. If you think about it, Ocala, Marion County, that's this television market. I mean, that is this market and a beautiful part of not just the state, but a beautiful part of the world. What can you get for $350,000 in Ocala versus $350,000 in Orlando? A great question that we will answer after this quick break as You Have Real Estate continues.
You can be an agent that struggles to get ahead in the competitive real estate world, or you can learn from the best and achieve success. Visit youhaveafutureinrealestate.com and sign up for the Jumpstart program. Get coaching tips and important tools that will help you jumpstart your real estate career. Sign up today and get 10% off your Jumpstart program when you use code word LEARN. Visit youhaveafutureinrealestate.com today and gain the real estate knowledge you need to succeed.
Welcome back to the show, and to be clear, this is not just an Orlando show by any stretch of the imagination. We visit the East Coast often. We visit all sorts of areas in our market here, and part of our market is certainly Ocala, is Marion County. And what a beautiful part of Florida that really is, really a beautiful part of the world with the horse farms, the open spaces, the spring, so much to do in Ocala. And I only think it's right that I share with you bang for your buck, Ocala versus here where we broadcast from in Orlando, because it seems like there is a migration in Florida. Well, there's a migration nationwide down to Florida, but in Florida for many years there's been a migration from South Florida to Central Florida to now even going up to Northern Florida. There's just no doubt about it. People continue to move north in search of something. I think it's nice and calmness and people that are nice. I think that's what we're in search of, and that's why we continue to migrate north somewhat. But bang for your buck. You asked me, well, how do the prices compare, Justin? Orlando versus Ocala. Elisha Lopez is here, Ocala Realty World, to answer that question. Welcome back to the show. How are you?
I'm wonderful.
Let's get right to it. All right. So the same house in Orlando versus the same house in Ocala or Marion County, how do they compare?
It's a huge difference in price. You've got $180 a square foot in Ocala.
180.
Yeah.
Wow.
To about $245 a square foot on average in Orange County.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So a house that would be $500,000 here, not great at math, but that would probably be somewhere, what, $350 up in the Ocala area, something like that?
Yeah, definitely.
Describe the way of life for people who are just sick of the hustle and bustle of whether it's Miami or even Orlando, they're sick of I-4. What is the quality of life? What's the way of life up in Marion County?
It's quiet.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, I come from a big city growing up in South Florida, and it's just quiet. Like, you could actually open your windows, catch, some fresh air and not have to, you don't hear like horns beeping and people screaming, and it's just really nice.
A lot of people here are sick of their homeowners association. We do a lot of that at the law firm. They come in just screaming about their HOA. I know there are certainly communities in Ocala with homeowners associations, but as I drive around, it seems like there are a lot of places that don't have HOAs.
Yeah, actually, no, it's kind of rare
Really?
in Marion County. Yes, I'd say maybe 15%, and that's probably high.
15% of it?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So we come
People
from...
are listening now, trust me,
yeah.
because they don't like that. Look, HOA is necessary evil, we get it, but sometimes when you got the dude with the ruler out measuring your grass, it can be a little oppressive as well. I always see when I've driven through, when I came to visit you, the farms, the horses. I mean, it's a real horse community, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's actually the horse capital of the world.
Oh.
I know Kentucky, and they always fight over it with us, but from what I'm biased.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I mean, rolling hills, and of course, lots of farms, lots of barns, and just like everybody thinks horses and country and maybe like back in the day and old fashioned, but no, I mean, the equestrian community, they're very like modern, and they love nice things too, which the Equestrian Center. Right. It just shows that.
WEC.
Yes.
WEC is up there, which I've been to a bunch with my daughter. It is one of the most stunning places you'll ever see. So WEC is, my daughter rides horses, and WEC is a place where you go and compete, and it's got like this hotel awesome restaurants, beautiful barns. I mean, this is a 5-star resort type place. This isn't your average little barn for sure. It's pretty wild. What about jobs? So I know that there are people who are considering maybe making that trek up north to live, maybe to move their family up to the Marion County, Ocala area. What's the job market like?
I mean, big industry. There's actually, you've got Amazon now, FedEx, Chewy.com. There's the Dollar General hub that's come in, so there's a lot of bigger industry coming to the area. But what we're noticing is with everyone being remote, it's not that big of a deal, an hour and 10-minute drive to Ocala. I mean, in South Florida, you lived in Miami and maybe you worked in West Palm, and that's just normal. And it'd take even longer to get home with traffic. Yeah,
you become really the premier real estate brokerage up in that area. How have you done that?
Well, by the grace of God, right? But the people first. So when I say people, I mean our agents and then the community, and my husband and I, we've just always taken the approach of treating our agents and the community the way we want to be treated. And I think just in life in general, if you do that, it's just blessings and everybody wins.
Got it. If you want to see properties right now, this weekend up in Ocala, I'll connect you with Elisha right now, 407-205-0400. I don't think that people who are moving up to Ocala know necessarily what area of town in which they want to live. Are there different areas of town, or is it all kind of one big place? How would you describe it?
Yeah, so Ocala is just one little city inside of Marion County, but we kind of divide it up into southwest, southeast, northwest, northeast, and then you've got other areas like Dunellen, Summerfield, Bellevue. So, there's all different pockets. What I suggest is just, when somebody wants to come, to call us, make an appointment, and kind of get a little tour and know, driving around. I mean, you can't beat just driving around and getting that feeling that we all get when we're there.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of our people talk about calling you who also wanted to move to the Villages. They're going to that retirement age. The Villages is right there. You work in the Villages, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good.
We're neighbors.
You're neighbors with the Villages.
Yeah.
So if someone is thinking about retiring to the Villages, can you also help them find places there?
Absolutely we can.
Really? The Village is booming, huh?
Oh, it is.
Is it still booming? Are they not out of room yet? Are they not out of space?
Not yet at all. Into Wildwood and Oxford, and they just keep building, and it's a world of their own out there, and it's great.
I love it up there. I'm not quite qualified to live in the Villages, but it's a party. It's a party in the Villages, isn't it?
It is.
Elisha Lopez, excellent job, Ocala Realty World. You want to move up to beautiful Marion County or the Villages, 407-205-0400. Thank you to all of our guests today. Thank you, Dallas Lehman, for making sure everything runs smoothly out in the green room there, and our WKMG-based crew. You guys are the best in the business. You are the best in the business as well, though. Thank you for joining me this weekend. See you again next Saturday for more You Have Real Estate. I'm attorney Justin Clark. If you're in debt and find yourself living paycheck to paycheck, call me now or visit youhavepower.com today.
The proceeding was a paid advertisement. The views expressed were the sole responsibility of the advertiser.